The issue with homelessness and certainly the people that aren't doing so well in our society is that often we find it too easy to look away, to ignore, and probably to judge that they are in that situation because it's their decision.
Back when I was living at home, my father got quite ill, and to the point where he had to stop working. And we were in a rented house, and ultimately my parents couldn't afford to pay the rent.
I can just see that that would be such an easy thing to happen, to fall into homelessness.
It's not because they choose it, it's because of either A, where they're born, B, what they're born into, or C, the circumstances that have arrived on their doorstep, and often through no fault of their own. I do hope that I'm warm enough.
This is going to give me an experience of what it is like sleeping on concrete out in the elements. Although we're under a concrete awning, it's still going to be quite cold, and I imagine it's going to be uncomfortable.
I can only imagine what it must be like to actually do this night after night after night.
Obviously sleeping on a hard ground like that is going to be a bit painful for your body.
I know what it's like to look after people who are struggling, are having difficulties making ends meet, and who end up in trouble, for one reason or another. So
the testimony we heard tonight from the panellists, the homeless men who live at Matthew Talbot House, it's very real, and it's scary that it's so real.
I feel that a lot of these homeless people, especially, and people fortunate as us, were probably once kids too.
My parents were trying to get into public housing. They had to wait, and they had to wait about 5 years. They actually lived on a boat for 5 years until they got into that housing. So for me, I think it was very, very close for us as a family that we could have ended up in that position.